This is my daughter Miley. Everybody else is gone from the house tonight. Hi, this is Joshua Hayden. I'll be doing my demonstration speech on herb crusted salmon. Make it yourself here at your house. What do you think about when you go out to eat and eat delicious salmon? Dinner's good. I think of a large bill at the end of it. And frankly, I got tired of paying a lot of money for fish that I could possibly make at my house. So about 2 years ago, I talked to my mom and we went through all her old recipes from her mom or my grandma. And she found one that was just simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients, and it's probably the best salmon I've had in a long time. Now, for the time me and my wife have been married, we share the cooking responsibilities, but there's one main thing that I cook in the house now, since my mom taught me how to cook this herb crusted salmon. It's the fish. My wife, she can cook it, but for the most part, I go through it and I prepare the fish. In this demonstration, I'll show you to prepare and cook herb crusted salmon. Now let's go gather our supplies, which I've pre-done already, and also start the oven, which I've done already. I set it to 400 degrees, and it's running, getting warm right now while we go through this. Hopefully we should be done. As far as ingredients, what you're going to need is kosher salt, black pepper, rosemary, thyme, garlic, olive oil, and as far as materials, don't forget the salmon, you need that. We'll also need a baking dish. I just use a basting brush to go ahead and mix everything together. The knife is what I use to scrape up the herbs once I chop them up with the slap chop. You need a mixing bowl and of course measuring spoons. Now that we have all of our ingredients and all of our supplies to get this going, we got the oven going right now. Let's go ahead and mix the ingredients together. So what you do is you grab your bowls, everything. What I did is I pre-measured everything and I also chopped it. That way the slap chop won't be so loud. But I have the salt and pepper. That will be a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I got the rosemary dried, which is a 1/2 teaspoon, or you can substitute fresh rosemary at 2 tablespoons. Also have dried thyme, which is a 1/2 teaspoon, but you can substitute the thyme with 2 teaspoons of freshly chopped. 4 cloves of garlic that I put through the mincer, and then you'll need 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Usually this whole thing will probably take you about 15 minutes to prepare and throw in the oven. The longest thing is actually waiting for the oven to heat up. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and mix. First, we do the tablespoon of olive oil. That's yummy. Garlic, it's the best. You can even throw in an extra clove of garlic if you want to. I don't mind. And we'll do the thyme, rosemary, and the salt and pepper. What I'm going to do is you just grab the basting brush and just go ahead and mix it. My wife likes to make a little bit extra of this, that way we get the entire top of the thing crusted in the herbs. Okay, now that we have that mixed, of course your salmon is ready. So what I do is you just grab a little bit of this and you paint the top of it. You don't have to be too exact. And my wife likes extra, so I usually put a little bit extra on hers. My girls don't like as much of the herbs on top, so I only put a little bit. Okay. Whatever you have extra left over, you can either save or just dump it all on there. We just dump it all on there. Okay, so you got the salmon, the herbs, and crust on top. Now once this is all done and your oven is finally heated up, what you need to go and do is you need to put this in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I usually check it around 12 or 13 because our oven's kind of warm and it cooks kind of fast. I just get a fork, which I'll grab right now. I'll just grab a fork and I'll just grab a corner of it, and if it flakes off, then it's usually ready. But in conclusion, now that we'll have some delicious salmon in the oven, we went through the steps to making a great a great tasting herb crusted salmon. We went through the ingredients, measuring. We went through all the supplies we need to make it, started and all that stuff. In today's times, it's pretty hard to get delicious fish recipes, at least for myself at the house. I'm thankful for my mom for getting me this, but one thing I have learned over time is when you're craving a yummy fish dinner, don't be like me and just go out and eat it. It only took 2 or 3 different recipes to go through, and luckily it was the one my mom gave me, and it's delicious herb crusted salmon.